Off-season activity at the Boleyn Ground kicked off with the appointment of a new manager. Sam Allardyce was tasked with the job of restructuring the playing staff and style to bounce back to the Premier League at the first attempt.
I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get through the work we need to get through as quickly as possible in how we need to change and how we need to change the mentality and how we need to drive the club forward to try and get up for the first time they're asking.
A key part of the brief for the new manager was to trim the playing staff, and he did this releasing a large number of the squad who were out of contract, underperforming or a strain on the finances of a championship team. The most notable departures were centre-backs Danny Gabidon and Matthew Upson and striker Demba Ba. Incoming transfers focused in the main on bringing Premier League experience to the playing staff, with the capture of Abdoulaye Faye, Matt Taylor, John Carew, Joey O'Brien, and most notably the capture of Kevin Nolan from Newcastle United. Sam Allardyce's former captain at Bolton had been a revelation at the Magpies, steering them to automatic promotion at the first attempt and then putting in his best Premier League season to date. It was clear the manager bought the attacking midfielder with similar plans in mind. The new season kicked off with the visit of last season's playoff contenders Cardiff City. Kevin Nolan made his first team debut to form a formidable partnership with last season's Football Writers Player of the Year, Scott Parker. But the season wouldn't get off to an ideal start. After 90 minutes, which saw West Ham shoot 9 times on target to Cardiff's 3, an injury time robbery occurred as Rudy Gested found Kenny Miller to net in injury time and claim all the points for the Bluebirds. The defeat was a tough one to take after such a dominating performance from the Hammers, but the manager kept faith with his starting 11, making just one change as Jack Collison replaced Freddie Sears. And it was the Welshman who unlocked the Doncaster Rovers' defence after just 5 minutes, finding Kevin Nolan with a delightfully chipped ball that the club's new captain volleyed over the line to claim his and West Ham's first goal of the season. And the new captain would be at it again on just 18 minutes as his chip shot had Gary Woods beaten, but not the crossbar. It was 3 points well earned on the road in the first meeting between the two sides since 1958. A midweek trip along the M25 to Vicarage Road would prove another fruitful adventure on the road. This time though, the Hammers put on a show for the travelling support.
Taylor's corner. Rising well, it's in for Tompkins. 3 minutes. Fabulous start for the Hammers. First goal of the season. This is O'Brien. Marches way through here, Joey O'Brien. He gets the second bat and it scores again. Right at half time. Incredible. This is his first goal since January 2005. Since his Sheffield Wednesday days. He was 18 then. Looking for more. Nolan, Ilunga, Carlton Cole. It's easy. Expectations so high for West Ham United this season. Carlton Cole off the mark. Looking for Faubert. It's Parker. Scott Parker. It's 4. Winning they are in the Championship. West Ham United. They couldn't have asked for a worse start with their late heartache against Cardiff at home. Parker, cool as you like.
Back at home and a tricky test against another sleeping giants, Leeds United. It would be a game filled with chances, 35 shots in total, but just as happened on opening day, the game would once again be defined by an away team shot in injury time.
To create one with that long throw of Ilunga, and it's tipped over the top by Andy Lonergan. Well, it's difficult for the keeper initially because the throw-in, he can't come and collect the throw-in from Ilunga, so he has to stay on his line. The keeper does well, very athletic, good tip over.
Taylor takes for West Ham, a beautifully whipped in ball, and it leads to an opening goal for West Ham. Carlton Cole.
But his ball is dropping, he just makes it easy, he gets to it first, in front of the defender. It's an absolute dream start for the Hammers.
Significant contributions at both ends from Carlton Cole from corners. Goes for the overhead, but he's given the penalty, has he, Michael Oliver, for shirt pulling? Bewildered look on the board of the West Ham players. Maybe he spotted a hand in there.
As this ball is flicked on, puts the right arm out, it comes. It's a definite handball. And to me, that's a penalty. Why on earth he's sticking out that right arm? There's no need for it. It does catch him. Leeds have got a big chance to get back in the game now.
Now Gradle, who scored a penalty on the opening day, misses here at Upton Park.
Try and drive it into that bottom right-hand corner. Rob Green had read it, but that is well wide, actually. He's put so much pace on it that you've got to hit the target. That's a good yard past the post. Poor penalty.
Here's Keogh. Little touch in towards Snodgrass. McCormack! It has been coming, and Ross McCormack levels it up for Leeds.
Leeds deserve to be on level terms. They've been superb since the break, and they've got their rewards.
They missed a penalty, but they weren't going to miss that. A thumping finish for Ross McCormack's third of the season.
What you're finding is Kevin Nolan's playing a little further forward than he needs to.
Here's Fobert, that's a wonderful ball in. Nothing Kisnorbo could do about that, and he's put it through his own net. West Ham United back in front.
As it's whipped in, it beats one centre-half. Then he's first to the ball, Kisnorbo. Carlton Cole's nowhere near it. But Carlton Cole doesn't have to be when Kisnorbo finishes like this. And Leeds, they've got themselves back in the game. And then they've just gifted the lead back to West Ham.
Chance! Crossbar, would you believe it? Followed in! Leeds have the equaliser! Adam Clayton in the last minute! West Ham 2, Leeds 2!
Big Sam rang the changes for the visit of League Two Aldershot. Callum McNaughton made his debut and John Carew made his first start in the claret and blue. Junior Stanislas bags the opener after battling work from Pablo Barrera forced the fullback Ben Hurd into a mistake. The former England under-21 international picked his spot and put the Hammers into what felt like an inevitable lead. But in the opening minutes of the second period, a lapse in concentration at the back by debutant McNaughton released Danny Hilton. The youngster tracked back, but his last-ditch tackle caught the shot striker, and the referee had no choice but to give him his marching orders. The 10 men of West Ham held out until the 78th minute, when Alex Rodman found space on the left-hand edge of the penalty box. His low shot was parried by Ruud Boffin, but Luke Gutteridge was on hand to bring the away side level. And then in the dying minutes of the match, the fresh legs of Jermaine McGlashan got the better of the West Ham defence. His pullback didn't find its intended target, but Aldershot were able to keep the possession alive, finding Hilton, whose low shot nestled in the bottom corner and marks the end of West Ham's short journey in the Carling Cup for 2011-2012. August came to a close with another dominating performance away from Boleyn to bring the club's third away victory on the spin and Carlton Cole's third goal in 3 starts.
Fobert trying to get it through to Cole. Here comes Nolan. Cole. Taylor on his left. Good ball in on goal. For the second week running, West Ham the beneficiaries of a centre-half doing the job for them.
Luke Chambers will be disappointed, but it's a difficult ball to deal with. Matt Taylor's put it into an area where he knows it can go in off a defender or a striker.
Taylor's only corner. Tompkins, and it's another! I think Kevin Nolan got the final touch in that melee for West Ham. It's certainly the skipper who's celebrating. And 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. And West Ham take control of the City ground.
Nobody anywhere near the big centre-half. And all he does is he helps it back into the danger area. Kevin Nolan has come off the goalkeeper where he started. And how often does he do that? He finds exactly where the ball's going to drop, and it's a simple task for Kevin Nolan. He was never going to miss from there.
Glanced away well. Boateng back in by O'Brien and hung up and touched in. It's a third. It's Carlton Cole. It's really hard to see a way back from this for Forest. West Ham 3, Nottingham Forest 0.
This is a really clever ball by Joey O'Brien. Just stands it up the back post. Winston Reid helps it into the danger area, and once again, last time it was Kevin Nolan, this time it's Carlton Cole. The Forest marking nowhere to be seen, and that's a simple task for the big striker.
Cohen to Lynch. That's a better ball, and that's a better end product for Nottingham Forest. They have one back. It's Robbie Finlay, and they've got 20 minutes left to find a couple more.
Simple task. Lynch does well. And Forest have got their goal back now. Can they build on it? Because has this strike just given them a faint hope?
Well, they made a mess of that, but they did pretty well. Improvising. Taylor. Nolan swung at it and followed in by Winston Reid. It's 4 for West Ham United, and it's Winston Reid's first league goal for the club.
Second phase. Initially, Ishmael Miller does really well, but from there on in, that's a loose touch. Gives West Ham possession. He's onside, Winston Reid, and it's a simple chance. And Steve McLaren is going to be pulling his hair out with this defending. Schoolboy, it's absolute schoolboy. And Winston Reid's not going to miss from there. And that really is it. That's it. Game, set, and the match.
5th in the league marked a decent start to the campaign. The away form was something to boast about, but results at the Boleyn did not make for pretty reading, especially after defeat in the Carling Cup. The end of August marked the end of the transfer window and a sad farewell to a bowling ground hero. Scott Parker had given his heart and soul to the Hammers in their bid to avoid relegation, and no one could begrudge him a move back to the elite division as he left to join former Hammers boss Harry Redknapp at Spurs. Also on the move were Zavon Hines, Junior Stanislas and Pablo Barrera, the latter on a season-long loan to Spanish club Real Zaragoza. Joining the Hammers were Sam Baldock, who had impressed with 6 goals in 6 games to kick off his 2011-2012 campaign with MK Dons. Papa Bouba Diop returned to English football following a spell at AEK Athens. Ivorian Guy Demel signed from Hamburg, and David Bentley was brought in on loan from Spurs. The team had been playing well in front of their home crowd, but needed a bit of luck. What they got in the opening fixture of September was 7 goals, 7 yellow cards, 3 debutants, 2 red cards and 2 penalties. Oh, and 3 points.
Oh, they left it. Oh, and it's gone in. Portsmouth have scored. It's the first goal they've scored in the first half of the game this season. Taylor takes it. Oh! Matthew Taylor with the instant response for West Ham. He struck it well, but there might have been the merest of deflections. Matthew Taylor with his first West Ham goal. Here's Noble. And it's all got a little bit messy. Not a bad cross. Oh, and he beat the defender. And Lansbury, Henry Lansbury Lansbury marks his debut with a goal for West Ham. The ball came off the head of a defender and it fell right to the feet of Henry Lansbury. Here's Hushklep now out on this left side. It's not a bad cross, it's a very good cross. Oh, and it's over the goal line and Binjani has made sure, but it might have been in before. Here's Lansbury to Bentley. Oh, he's caught on the ankles there by Liam Lawrence, who is one of 3-4 Portsmouth players who had already been shown a yellow card. So it's a red now for Liam Lawrence, and Portsmouth are down to 10 men. Here's Lansbury. Oh, there was a hand. Oh, that might be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty. Jamie Ashdown on the goal line. And Mark Noble makes no mistake. It's his first goal of the season. And it puts West Ham back in front at 3-2. Moved on by David Bentley. Spread wide by Nolan. Here's Taylor. Looks for Carlton Cole! Oh, what a goal! What a goal! That was top quality. And for the third game this season, West Ham have scored 4. Not sure what's happened here. Well, what happened here? Piquionne turns away. Well, oh, it's going to be a penalty. Oh, the tempers are getting frayed here. Ben Haim, who went down, and Roger East, having just sent off Piquionne, has now given Portsmouth a penalty. And it's going to be Greg Halford who will take Portsmouth's penalty. Both teams down to 10 men. It's been an extraordinary couple of minutes. Well, Halford scores to give us a 4-3 scoreline. And that is the final whistle.
The first derby of the season against Millwall was its usual competitive affair, as West Ham looked to continue their impressive away form with their first trip to the Den in 6 years. And the Hammers could have got off to the perfect start, as Henry Lansbury dispossessed the opposition and shot towards an empty net, as the Millwall keeper was inexplicably off the field of play, adjusting the net. They kicked the game into life immediately, and the Hammers continued to exert pressure. David Ford, the Millwall keeper, would again be called into action with this parry from Henry Lansbury's shot. It was clearly destined not to be the on-loan midfielder's day. The second half would again be a series of promising attacks, yielding little reward. The Hammers did have the ball in the back of the net when Julien Faubert was played through, but the linesman's flag went straight up and the goal was chalked off for offside, and Big Sam had to be satisfied with a point earned on the road. Peterborough travelled to the Boleyn for just the second time in their history, having lost the only 2 previous meetings with the Hammers. Big Sam making just one change to the side that drew with Millwall, James Tomkins making way for Winston Reid. With just 11 minutes on the clock, Julien Faubert crossed into the middle for Henry Lansbury, who was dumped to the ground by Lee Frecklington. The referee had little hesitation in awarding the penalty, and Mark Noble duly obliged with his second successful spot kick of the season. From that moment on, the Hammers were in control and could have stretched their lead before half-time. Carlton Cole finding space down the left flank. He edged closer to the goal, but couldn't get enough spin on the ball to trouble Paul Jones's goal. West Ham were 6 on the spin and defeated in the league and looked destined to make it 7. But for the form of Jones, they could have wrapped the game up sooner. The shot stopper was on hand to palm away this raspy effort from substitute David Bentley. The full-time whistle brought welcome relief to Big Sam and the fans as they celebrated their first home win of the campaign. 8 games unbeaten in the league and a chance to top the table at the end of September with victory against the Tractables. But it was the visitors who started the brightest, Carlos Edwards eventually finding Lee Bowyer with this crossfield ball. The former Hammer was given 2 attempts to hit the target, the second coming just inches away from breaking the deadlock. West Ham had their chances as well, the ball breaking to Henry Lansbury, who had time to turn and measure up a 35-yard screamer that flashed inches wide of David Stockdale's upright. West Ham started the second half the brighter and could have taken the lead had Carlton Cole's effort better tested the Ipswich goal. And once again, West Ham were left to rue missed opportunities, as from an 89th minute corner, Lee Bowyer was on hand to poke the ball home and condemn his former team to defeat. Despite defeat in the final game of the month, September had fared well for the Hammers as the team crept up to 4th in the division, just 2 points from the summit. There was bad news for Rob Green at the start of October as he was ruled out for at least a month with a knee injury. Sam Allardyce acted fast and brought in veteran shot-stopper Manuel Almunia from Arsenal on loan. And the Spanish shot-stopper's goal was under siege as early as the 6th minute, when a flick on deep in West Ham's half was met by Jonathan Williams, who found Darren Ambrose. The winger planted the ball in the bottom corner of the net to claim his second goal in 2 games. But West Ham responded quickly, and after some superb football in the midfield, the ball found its way out to the left wing. Carlton Cole was alive to the loose ball in the box, and his header found Kevin Nolan, who had the simple task of slotting the ball into the back of the net. It was an easy finish, but the build-up play highlighted the good football West Ham had been playing in the early months of the campaign. Wilfried Zaha was a constant threat for the Eagles, and it was his running cross in the 52nd minute that found Glenn Murray with enough space to turn, shoot and score past the outstretched Almunia. John Carew was brought on in the hope of exploiting his aerial threat, and the big man did just that, beating the Palace defence in the air, guiding his header into the net and bringing the teams back to all square. It was the Norwegian's first goal for his new club following his switch from Aston Villa in the summer, and it would prove enough for an away point against a resilient Palace side. Fellow relegated outfit Blackpool would visit the Boleyn in mid-October. Sam Baldock and John Carew were preferred in attack following their game-changing performances at Palace, and they repaid their manager's faith with interest.
This is played in towards Carew! Yes! 12 minutes. John Carew, 2 in 2 championship games. He was a goal scorer also for Norway on Tuesday against Cyprus. It's been a very good week for John Carew. Scoreless here in the Premier League last season. How it was is anyone's guess. It's 2 games without a win since their narrow victory over Peterborough. It could get even better for him here though, through Baldock, and it does. His first goal in Claret. And it's going to be a long way back for Blackpool now. Blackpool, who were so convincing against Bristol City at Bleakfield Road in their last game, they won by 5 goals to 0. In danger of conceding a third, and they have done here. Baldock again. In just his second start, he has his second goal today. Taylor, he's done well. Getting a fourth here. Oh, fine save. Collison, they've got a fourth. Three goals in 8 minutes for West Ham United.
The St Mary's Stadium had become a scary place to travel to. Since the opening day of the season, the newly promoted side had won 100% of their home games, scoring 19 goals in just 6 games. And whilst the Hammers started the game well, Sam Baldock with this effort smothered by the Southampton goalkeeper Calvin Davis, it would be the Saints that would take the lead. A routine corner from the left was met with power by Jos Højveld, leaving the keeper with no chance and Sam Allardyce seething on the sidelines. West Ham did have chances to retrieve the game, Mark Noble coming closest with this deflected cross rebounding off the upright to safety. But it would be the Saints' day, who edged further ahead of the Hammers and continued their unbelievable home form. The Hammers were back on the South Coast less than a week later to face another of the promoted teams who had also started well, Brighton and Hove Albion.
That's a gift for Kevin Nolan! And he beats his former teammate. West Ham have the lead.
Well, is it Liam Bridcut in the middle that gets caught in possession? Somebody does. And that's why Big Sam has sent them out to press.
Back home, following 2 trips to the seaside to face a Leicester City side minus Sven-Göran Eriksson, who had departed as manager during the week. Green returned and Sam Baldock was once again preferred up front, the new signing once again on hand to notch his 2nd brace in 4 games.
There's John Carew, aimed towards Baldock. He has become an instant hero. West Ham United hit the front. Great pick out this from John Carew. That's Mark Noble. West Ham are really in the mood here. It's Julien Faubert, placed to perfection. West Ham double their money. He picked his spot and he found it. There's Dyer. Peltier. That's Wellens. This is Howard. Wellens again. And Leicester have a goal back. Andy King. Took on by Piquion. This is Baldock. There's no stopping him right now. West Ham United have breathing space again. Route 1 football. It pays off. Baldock stealing in. Steve Howard once again winning an aerial duel. That's Andy King. That is brilliant. Another hurdle, safely negotiated by West Ham United. A gripping contest. The Hammers have won it by 3-2.
3 wins in 4 matches and 10 points taken from a possible 15 have moved the club up to 2nd in the division, just 3 points behind leaders Southampton and significantly 3 points ahead of the chasing pack. The month kicked off with a frustrating home draw against basement dwellers Bristol City. The home side dominated with over 60% of possession and 19 shots at goal. The closest the Hammers came to breaking the deadlock was after a quarter of an hour when Freddie Sears was given time on the edge of the Bristol penalty area to line up a shot that had former Hammers keeper David James beaten but clipped the post to safety. Great work down the left-hand side, again involving Julien Faubert, nearly brought success when Joey O'Brien's deep cross was headed goalwards, only for James to stretch and claim the ball safely. 0-0 it finished, and without doubt was 2 points dropped for the Hammers. They needed to bounce back the following Saturday on an away trip to the KC Stadium.
Cole, and turned in. Baldock. West Ham in front through Sam Baldock. Cole with the important header on, and Baldock was there to turn it in from close range.
Cole. Gets away from Hobbs, lovely ball. It's Collison to finish it! And West Ham double their advantage! Lovely ball forward from Carlton Cole, and all Collison had to do was finish it, which he does in style. That's what it means to the manager.
A confidence-instilling away win and a clean sheet to boot, but the Hammers would need to come from behind in their next game away at Coventry after Clive Platt opened the scoring on 33 minutes, the veteran's second goal in as many games. And the home side could have doubled their lead, but for the acrobatics of the ever-reliable Robert Green, who tipped away Lukas Jutkovic's stinging effort. Once again though, West Ham asserted their dominance in the second period and were back level when Carlton Cole's shot deflected into the net, for the striker's fifth goal of the season having come on at half-time for John Carew. And Cole would be involved again for West Ham's decisive second goal. The marksman found Julien Faubert in acres of space, who had chance to look up and find his spot. Freddie Piquionne and Lady Luck did the rest, and the Frenchman celebrated his first goal of the campaign and another vital 3 points, the club's sixth away win on the road and fifth game unbeaten. West Ham brought their impressive away record back to the Boleyn in the hope of improving their home form against a Derby side on a dismal run in November of 3 straight defeats. Joey O'Brien was recalled to the starting 11 along with Carlton Cole following his impressive second half performance at the Ricoh Arena.
Davis saying where he wants it. Here's Thomas Priskin! Derby lead! It's the debutants! 34 minutes on the clock! West Ham 0, Derby 1! Decent delivery by Noble, but cannot be defended well. Back in by O'Brien. More defending required. They couldn't keep it out. Carlton Cole claims the goal. Back in the starting lineup, and he levels it up just before half-time. Collison's touch. Nolan. Oh, what a goal! That is special from Kevin Nolan. His first goal for West Ham here at Upton Park is one to savour. Collison, touch for Piquionne. The challenge in the back from Bryson means penalty for West Ham. And this from 12 yards, surely, if he is successful, the goal to take West Ham to within 2 points at the summit. You do not keep those ones out. And West Ham at home, surely now back to winning ways and back in the hunt at the summit of the Championship.
The Hammers finished a very productive month in the northeast at Middlesbrough, where there was a welcome return for Matt Taylor, one of 4 changes to the starting lineup from the win against Derby.
Noble. Taylor. Towards Piquionne! For a second away day running. Frederic Piquionne finds himself on the score sheet after his winner against Coventry. For that 4th league win in a row, West Ham. That's Taylor! This is lovely football. As this is West Ham United coming very, very close to a second goal. They're looking for Cole. And Carlton Cole is in here. Defensive mistake. Cole rounds the goalkeeper. It's 2-0 West Ham. Wrapping the game up once and for all. His third goal in his last 3 games. And that will do nicely to take back to the capital.
An unbeaten November, 7 games without defeat in total, and 4 wins out of 4 was terrific form from the Hammers and saw them close the gap on Southampton and increase the gap to the chasing teams. December, though, did not start how November had finished. Burnley were the visitors and kicked off what would prove to be a tricky month for the Hammers. The game started well enough with the Hammers having the best of the opening exchanges. Julien Faubert was again the chief tormentor as he wriggled free to find Matt Taylor, but his header was off target. Then a defensive mix-up in the Burnley back line released Carlton Cole in an advanced position. The crowd jumped to their feet in expectation as the ball reached Kevin Nolan, but went agonisingly wide. The Hammers opener finally came early in the second half. Cole, using his height to his advantage, found Kevin Nolan, whose quick thinking saw Lee Grant off his line and his lob was inch perfect. The captain's 5th goal of the campaign and produced a lead that the Hammers' pressure had deserved. But Burnley would find their way into the game when former Hammer Junior Stanislas was afforded too much space to dispatch an accurate cross for Chris McCann to head home just 5 minutes after West Ham's opener. The home side continued to press high up the field, and when the ball fell at Freddie Piquion's feet 6 yards out, following good work down the right, a goal looked certain, but for the head of the heroic Burnley defender. Once again, though, West Ham were undone in the air from a set piece, as Ross Wallace's corner was powered home by Sam Vokes to silence the Boleyn and claim all 3 points for the Northwest side. Luck in the meeting with Reading didn't fare much better, as the West Ham team were left short-handed in the 65th minute when Joey O'Brien was shown a red card for this challenge on winger Joby McAnuff. It was the beginning of a collapse for the visitors as they couldn't cope with the numerical disadvantage. From the resulting free kick, the subject of the previous sending off, McAnuff, collected the ball from a James Tompkins half clearance, reached the byline and pulled the ball back for Alex Pearce to strike the Royals into a 1-0 lead. And Reading were out of sight by the 79th minute when Jimmy Kebe was released down the right flank, finding Adam Lafondra, whose lobbed cross shot was bundled over the line by Simon Church. Jack Collison joined Joey O'Brien for an early bath in the 83rd minute with a rash challenge on Reading danger man Jimmy Kebe, the academy graduate's first dismissal in 5 seasons at the club. And in a moment of deja vu, Reading scored from the resulting free kick when Ian Hart's cross was flicked home by Church to end a dismal day at the Medeski for the Hammers. Injury to new signing Guy Demel and suspensions for Jack Collison and Joey O'Brien paved the way for Dan Potts, son of Steve, to make his debut for the Hammers against Barnsley.
First real test here for Barnsley, and Papa Bouba Diop has West Ham in front. He is back in English football. He is back amongst the goals. Barnsley just couldn't deal with him. Of Addison. That's Craig Davis. Davis! Oh, took a vital touch there off McCartney. Mark Noble, too high. Carlton Cole, lovely chest down, Noble! He's getting closer.
The pick of the Boxing Day Championship fixtures was the meeting between the Hammers and Carling Cupholders Birmingham City at St Andrews, and the away side would get off to the best possible start.
Touch on from Piquillon to Cole. Carlton Cole through for West Ham and scores! Cole Carlton Cole with his 50th West Ham goal. The Hammers up and running. On by Piquion. Faubert. Carlton Cole. Cole! Oh, that's a super save from Boaz Myhill.
Well, we are right behind that, and that looks like it's flying into the corner.
That goes long this time. Again, Sigic is across that. So to Corbella, touched in by Murphy. David Murphy's first league goal of the season. And West Ham, who have been creaking, have been taken back.
2011 came to a close at Pride Park. Gary O'Neill was back in the starting 11 for his first start of the campaign, and there was also a recall for Frank Nouble following a successful loan spell at Gillingham. With just 2 minutes on the clock, a scramble in the West Ham defence broke kindly for Callum Ball, whose cannon of a shot hit the back of the net for the youngster's second goal of the season. And before the minutes had hit double digits, the Hammers were 2-0 down when Jamie Ward was afforded time to look up and cross into the area where Paul Green was on hand to bundle the ball over the line for his first of the season. West Ham did put up a fight though and had drawn one back just before half-time when Freddie Piquion found Frank Nouble, who side-footed it past the outstretched hand of Frank Fielding. But the score would remain 2-1 until the final whistle, and West Ham had to reflect on a poor end to 2011. Just one win in 5 from the month dropped West Ham to third in the division, but the damage was not as bad as it could have been. Still just 3 points from the summit and one of only 4 clubs above 40 points. The new year began with a tricky visit from Coventry, who were on their best run of the campaign with back-to-back victories to close out 2011. The Hammers were boosted by the return of Kevin Nolan, Julian Faubert, George McCartney and man of the match Jack Collison after suspension. But it was the Sky Blues who started brightly when Gary McSheffrey was able to find room on the right wing to put in a hanging cross. Evading the defenders, it reached Chris Hussey, whose fizzing shot just missed the right-hand upright. In the second half, the Hammers got the breakthrough arguably their dominant display deserved when George McCartney crossed deep to the far stick, where James Tomkins was able to head the ball into the path of Kevin Nolan, who rose to plant his 7th of the season past Joe Murphy in the Coventry goal. From then on, it was all Hammers, and this goal kick from Robert Green could have put the game out of reach, when poor defending allowed Frank Nouble a one-on-one against Joe Murphy, but the Coventry shot stopper stood up well and was able to block the shot, and when Mark Noble had a chance from the resulting rebound, he pulled his shot just wide of the goal. However, one goal would prove to be enough, as the Hammers kicked off 2012 with a much-needed 3 points. West Ham's journey in the FA Cup was short-lived, as the manager rang the changes for the trip to Hillsborough to face Sheffield Wednesday. The only goal of the game coming in the 88th minute, when Chris O'Grady burst through the Hammers' defence and angled a shot past reserve keeper Ruud Boffin. Out of the cup competitions, the Hammers could concentrate solely on bouncing straight back to the Premier League, and they had an opportunity to pile further pressure on the teams above them with a trip to crisis club Portsmouth. Portsmouth had a chance to take the lead when Greg Halford wrestled free 6 yards out, but directed his header over Robert Green's goal. But on 24 minutes, the Hammers had their vital lead when pressure in the Portsmouth penalty area led to former Hammer Tal Ben Haim pulling down Winston Reid in the penalty area. The referee had little choice in pointing to the spot. Regular penalty taker Mark Noble stepped up, and whilst the keeper went the right way, it was too good for the Pompey shot stopper, and the Hammers had the lead. Portsmouth looked to have drawn level before half-time when Jason Pearce latched on to a well-taken corner, but Robert Green was quick to react and tipped the ball away to safety. Another great save from the England shot stopper, who was once again having a great campaign between the sticks. The second half was marred by a reckless challenge from David Norris, the referee showing little hesitation before brandishing the red card, reducing the opposition to 10 men and finishing the game as a contest. 2 league wins to kick off the month had the fans, players and staff in high spirits for the visit of struggling Nottingham Forest, where the Hammers were on the right side of 2 key decisions. And it was the home side who started the brightest. When a green free kick caused havoc in the Forest penalty area, the ball broke to Collison, who controlled well but shot too close to Lee Camp between the sticks. Collison was again involved when he broke into the Forest area and looked across from the byline. The ball was blocked by Musi illegally, according to the referee, despite the protests from the away side. Devastating from the spot as ever, Mark Noble blasted the ball into the top right corner to give the Hammers a lead as the half-time whistle approached. It was the local born midfielder's 5th goal of a productive campaign. The second half started where the first half left off, with Jack Collison the chief tormentor. After good work from Baldock on the left, he received the ball 25 yards out and advanced on the Forest goal. However, when he finally got his shot away, it was too high to trouble the keeper. Just after the hour mark, the second key decision of the match went the Hammers' way, and a long ball from the left again caused problems in the Forest defence, and Chris Gunter was adjudged to have got an arm to the ball. Once again, it was up to Mark Noble to dispatch the resulting penalty, and he did so in typically ruthless style, showing his composure to alter the style of his first penalty and stroke the ball into the bottom right corner of the net. As the final whistle approached, the away side were able to grab a consolation goal, substitute Ishmael Miller controlling the keeper's kick well, and the ball finding its way to McGugan 20 yards out, whose unstoppable shot left Rob Green with no chance and put pay to back-to-back clean sheets. It had been 9 points out of 9 in the league since the turn of the year, but no one could have anticipated what would happen at Portman Road, the Hammers succumbing to a heavy defeat after starting the month so well. The goals started to flow as quickly as the 3rd minute, when J. Emmanuel Thomas was able to evade challenges and slip Michael Chopra through to net his 8th of the season and put the Tractor Boys into an early lead. The Hammers did have chances to pull level, this the closest of the lot when Carlton Cole rose highest to direct his header onto the post and into the grateful keeper's arms. Then came 3 minutes of madness just before the break that would put the game beyond West Ham. A corner from the right was flicked into the path of Daryl Murphy, who had little to do to double Ipswich's lead. Just a minute later though, West Ham had pulled one back, when Mark Noble's free kick was flicked on into the net by Jack Collison for the Welshman's 3rd of the season. But just on the stroke of half-time, the 2-goal cushion was restored when George McCartney strong-armed Michael Chopra, who fell to the ground, resulting in a penalty for the home side, which Lee Martin dispatched with ease. The goals would continue to fly in during the second half, and it was clear it wouldn't be West Ham's day when this speculative effort from J. Emmanuel Thomas snuck into the bottom corner of the net. And the former Arsenal youngster would round off the scoring in the final minute, coming from deep to round off a good counter-attack from the home team. Not the best way to end a month that had started so well. However, it hadn't stopped the Hammers from claiming top spot come the end of January. 2 points clear of Southampton and 3 from Cardiff. 2012 had started on the up. The end of January brought with it the end of the winter transfer window, and once again Big Sam was making moves, bringing in Ravel Morrison, Ricardo Vaz-Tey and Nicky Maynard. 3 forward-thinking players were a statement of intent from the manager as he looked to kick on and propel the club back to the Premier League. The new month began with the visits of local rivals Millwall. After the 0-0 draw in September, the team were desperate to claim the East London bragging rights with a win. They had to do it the hard way though.
This is Trotter. He was hoping that Henderson would take the ball with him. Clinching challenge between Nolan and Smith. And Kevin Nolan is sent off. A straight red for the West Ham United captain. Fired in by Noble. Reed met it. Carlton Cole! The 10 men of West Championship leaders show their class. McCartney, Julian Faubert! It was almost perfect.
Well, Julian Faubert is so unlucky because this is a great ball in from George McCartney, and Faubert does the right thing. It's not a powerful header, he just tries to guide it, use the pace on the ball to glance it over the keeper. So unlucky.
Millwall just beginning to enjoy a little bit of possession again. Henderson on the spin and then bullied off the ball by Abdoulaye Faye. But this is the chance for Trotter! Millwall strike back and silence the East End. It's 1-1. Carlton Cole hobbling inside the Millwall penalty area. It's Matt Taylor's corner kick. The goalkeeper's nowhere. Tompkins header off the line. They were within an ace of taking the lead again, West Ham. Harry Kane to the rescue for Millwall. Ford taken out by Faubert. It's fired back in by Reed. The goal is given. West Ham United are back in front. 2 minutes packed with drama at Upton Park. Off the head of Keogh. Jimmy Abdu. This is Ryan Mason, that's dangerous. No nonsense from Abdoulaye Faye. That's it. West Ham United edge closer to the Barclays Premier League. They take a firm grip of top spot. 5 points the difference now between them and second place Southampton.
The match with Posh the week after was postponed due to a frozen pitch, and so West Ham would follow the derby match with Millwall with an equally important match with fellow tabletoppers Southampton. And the Hammers would be lightning quick out of the traps with a chance in the first minute of the match. Baz Tay beating the defenders to the ball and hitting a good shot that required an even better save to stop the home side taking an early lead. The talking points of the match happened on 18 minutes. Billy Sharp was adjudged to have brought down Noble in the penalty area, and whilst the referee was pointing to the spot, an altercation between the Southampton striker and Matt Taylor broke out that would ultimately lead to the sending off of the Hammers midfielder. Amidst the highly charged atmosphere, Noble's cool head would prevail, slotting the penalty home in familiar lethal style. It was the midfielder's 7th conversion from the spot this campaign, his best return for a season. With a man advantage, the Saints looked to press the home side high up the field and were a top-class goalkeeper away from drawing level when Rob Green made a remarkable double save to deny both Adam Lallana and Billy Sharp. And the England goalkeeper would be on hand again as the Saints pushed for the equaliser. After Adam Lallana's shot was blocked, the ball broke to Ricky Lambert, whose measured shot was palmed away impressively by Green in the Hammers' goal. On 75 minutes, though, the Saints finally got the goal they had been threatening when Ricky Lambert beat McCartney to the header, setting up Jos Højveld to slot the ball under the onrushing Green. A midweek trip to the seaside to face Blackpool would lead to one of the most fascinating games of the campaign to date, with 5 goals, a red card and a surprising figure finishing the game between the sticks for the Hammers.
Mark Noble presenting up with this free kick, and in the net it goes for Tompkins. He hasn't scored since his opener against Watford in August, just before the half-hour mark. Faubert, nice into play. West Ham come forward looking for another one here. And Maynard, they've got another one. 2 and 4 minutes, Nicky Maynard. January arrival from Bristol City, his first goal in West Ham United colours. And it's a simple tap-in the end. People who are unbeaten in the last 7 championship games. And that's Kevin Phillips, lifeline. Fine header from Phillips, his 12th goal of the season. Bednari's through here, Green is committed, and Robert Green could be in some big trouble here. There was a covering defender, whether it will make a difference. It's red, Robert Green is off. It's to be change Faubert off, and Henry Lansbury is going to be going in goal here. Well, Junks has completely missed it. Falls to O'Neill, it's in! Can you believe it? A 2-goal advantage restored for West Ham United. His first goal of the season. He's had an injury nightmare this year. Well, West Ham scored 4 at Upton Park when these two last met. As Vastey has it, as West Ham look for a 4th here. Deflection, they're going to get one. And that will be that. A welcome return to Bluefield Road for Sam Allardyce, who had 2 years as manager at Blackpool back in the 1990s.
February came to a close with the visit of London rivals Crystal Palace. Robert Green had been given a reprieve from the Football Association after his red card was rescinded, and the England goalkeeper had to be in top form to keep the Eagles at bay.
Now here's Chris Martin for Crystal Palace. Again forcing the save from Green. Zaha. Zaha the deflection, and great reactions from Rob Green to tip it over the top. Carlton Cole in for Baldock! West Ham thought they were through there, and Baldock has 2 chances in the moments after he comes on.
That's fantastic link-up play. What a little layoff this is by Carlton Cole. He knows where Baldock's going to be, puts it right on the spot, but Speroni once again gets his angles just right, stands big and makes another decent save.
Winston Reid saw it blocked away, nearly came to Cole. I think Tompkins got in the way.
Well, James Tompkins is certainly in there, whether he gets a clean strike on this, but they go to sleep, Palace. Wilfred Zaha just turns his back on the ball, the shot comes in, it ricochets, and it's his left foot. James Tompkins really can't get the power on it at all. There's some pressure at his back as well. As it breaks for him, he just scoops it goalwards and it's not even going in.
Undefeated in the month of February with a key draw against Southampton, however, it was not enough to maintain their hold on top spot. Just 1 point behind the new leaders Southampton, but 4 clear of a resurgent Reading. March began with a visit to the Welsh capital and a chance for revenge after the opening day smash and grab from Cardiff City.
The ability to grind out results now. Can they get the cross in here? Lansbury looking far post, back in by Collison. Maynard!
Once again, good play from West Ham. Moving the ball well, Lansbury.
Maynard took that well, but the pass was behind Nolan. Collison comes in for Maynard again. Off the Nolan, onside, when to place it, 1-0 West Ham. Just over 2 minutes left in the first half, and a moment of class at last. From a player with bags of top-class experience, Kevin Nolan. Nolan, simple pass to McCartney, who's allowed to go away from Mason. Bit of naivety there about Mason, but here's McCartney. He's gone beyond McNaughton, who's more experienced and should know better. In towards Carl, back towards McCartney. He scored! Well, he made all the running, and it's 2-0 to West Ham United with just under a quarter of an hour to go, and that has sent them a giant stride towards victory.
Despite victory, Faubert, Taylor and Cole were all recalled to the starting 11 for the visit of the Hornets to the Boleyn. And it would be first blood to Watford when this speculative effort from Sean Murray nestled in the bottom left-hand corner of Robert Green's goal. With just 3 minutes to go, the Hammers finally got the goal their domination had deserved when substitute Vastey applied a pinpoint finish to a scramble in the Hornets' penalty area. It was the striker's second goal for the club and 14th for the season, having played the first half of the campaign at Barnsley. Relegation battlers Doncaster were next to visit the Boleyn, the home side determined to preserve an unbeaten record against the Yorkshire side that dated back to 1957. And the Hammers got to work from the first whistle when Kevin Nolan played a slide rule pass through to Ricardo Vaz-Teix. He chipped the goalkeeper, but it would be to no avail, with the referee spotting an infringement by the Portuguese striker. However, it wasn't long before the Hammers did have the ball in the net legitimately. Vaz-Teix's good work down the left flank was finally rewarded when a scramble in the Doncaster penalty area was pounced on by Kevin Nolan. The club's talisman had scored the only goal in the reverse fixture back in August and now moved his tally onto 9 for the campaign. Doncaster drew level in the second half, the build-up seeming to happen in slow motion. From Diouf's amble forward, his cross into the box, the ensuing panic in the Hammers' defence, and the final touch from James Coppinger to secure a vital draw for Doncaster, but 2 points dropped for the Hammers. The month had started unbeaten, but draws didn't look as if they would be enough to cement their automatic promotion ambitions. Danny Collins was drafted in for his first start for the club following his loan move from Premier League outfit Stoke at the beginning of the month as the team travelled to Ellen Road.
Plenty of endeavour to admire, and the West Ham players are having to be patient, but Maynard with a little glimpse and Lonergan with the first save of the match. Good goalkeeping by Andy Lonergan. Snodgrass with the delivery. O'D jumped, Nolan won it. Here's Becchio. Snodgrass. Teaser. Green gets there. Connolly off the bar and turned in by Becchio. And Leeds are ahead. Oh, he loves it, Neil Warnock. Noble's delivery. And the equaliser arrives. And it's Collins. His first goal for West Ham. Well, he's only been a West Ham employee for a matter of days. There's a wry smile on Sam Allardyce's face.
Middlesbrough, another side chasing down a playoff berth, arrived at the Boleyn, and once again it was the inability to get the second goal that thwarted the Hammers' path to victory.
Steele comes, and he was certainly impeded as he went to do that. Ducking into that one was Bates. West Ham adamant they should have had a penalty. Well, if it did hit an arm, there's a very decent case there, because there was an action towards the ball from the Middlesbrough captain. Emnes. Now McCartney. Faye. Got his head to it and it's crept in! Abdoulaye Faye with his first goal for West Ham United, and that could be a mighty one as they seek a return to the Premier League. Noble, that's up towards Tompkins. It rose well! Super save by Steele to get it onto the crossbar, and Middlesbrough survive. Obechi, Jutkiewicz wants it. Obechi takes it! Oh, that is a sensational strike! Bartosz Becchi, only just off the bench, has rifled one in.
4 1-1 draws in succession was frustrating for the players, manager and fans as they began to see their chance of a top 2 finish fade. The performances were good, but the ball would not find the back of the net. The game against Burnley was a case in point, the Hammers enjoying the majority of possession and 17 shots at goal, but still left Turf Moor with only a point. They would earn that point the hard way as well, when on 25 minutes Burnley put together a series of precision passes that released Marvin Bartley to round the defender and beat the onrushing Green. The Lancastrian outfits would double their advantage 10 minutes before the break when the ball was worked out to the left wing. Then Mee cut back inside and delivered a telling cross that Martin Patterson was able to deflect into the net and give Burnley a telling advantage as the end of the first half approached. Despite being 2 goals down, West Ham were the dominant team, and this continued into the second half. But it wasn't until the 68th minute when they were finally rewarded with a goal to complement their attacking play. Kevin Nolan judging the bounce of the ball better than the Burnley defender and lobbing the stranded goalkeeper with expert precision and moving the midfielder into double figures for the season. The comeback was completed just 2 minutes later when a free kick from Mark Noble found its way to James Tomkins, who showed the composure of a prolific goalscorer to side-foot a volley past goalkeeper Lee Grant. It was the defender's 3rd goal of the season and a vital one as well, moving the club to 10 games unbeaten, stretching back to the beginning of February. The midweek trip to Peterborough was a must-win game, and when Paul Taylor tried his luck from the edge of the area, the travelling support held their breath. Thankfully, the ball cannoned off the crossbar and was recovered. It was George McCartney's positive second-half run that led to the opener. The full-back linking well with Matt Taylor, whose cross into the box was met by Ricardo Vaz-Tei to the relief of the players and the away support. The visitors had dominated proceedings and were well worth their lead. It was a lead they would secure just 6 minutes later when Gary O'Neill was given the freedom of London Road to look up, take aim and fire a precise shot into the bottom left-hand corner of Paul Jones's goal. It was the midfielder's 2nd goal of an injury-ravaged season that didn't start until the final day of 2011. It was a vital win in the chase for automatic promotion and equalled the club record of 11 away wins in a single season. The final match of March would prove to be the turning point for both clubs. Despite an early Hammers goal, Reading would prevail, setting themselves up for a winning run to the Championship title.
Played out wide, driven in low, and a glancing header and a wonderful save, but not the follow-up, and it's Carlton Cole, won in the last 16 games, but it's taken him less than 10 minutes to open the scoring here. Can they get back on level terms? Right under the crossbar, and they have! And it looks like it's Jasper Corks who's got it. Here's Roberts. Gets the rebound off the body of Tomkins. Here's a chance for Noel Hunt. Oh, would you believe it? Reading are going to go in at half-time leading 2-1. It's unbelievable. Noel Hunt, oh, he went down over the challenge and it's going to be a penalty. And it's Ian Hart who will take the responsibility. Hart for Reading makes it 3-1. What a comeback this is for the team in 2nd place in the Championship. Gary O'Neill takes the corner. Vaz-Tei with a header. Oh, what a header as well. From Vaz-Tei right into the top corner. It's been intercepted by Legiot Wood. Oh, it hit the heels. That's Legiot Wood. Oh, that's going to stand. Players are looking across at the linesman, but Legiot Wood has put it into the net, and Reading have re-established their 2-goal lead.
An incredible 8 games played in March, with only 1 defeat coming in the final game of the month. But it was a crucial one, and with a succession of draws in the early stages of March, the club had slipped out of the automatic promotion places to 3rd, 4 points from the top 2. Wins were needed and the Hammers duly obliged, breaking their club record for away wins in style with an accomplished performance against Barnsley.
Over comes the corner, Vaz-Tei didn't get it, Nolan did, touched in, West Ham lead, 6 minutes played. Well, that didn't take long, and it's pretty much the first time West Ham have threatened. Here's Maynard. On for the shot. Oh, what a good shot it was. West Ham double their lead, and Nicky Maynard continues his run of scoring with a 100% record against Barnsley. It's 6 in 6 for him. Button. He's lost it. Noble, can he chip it? It's over Button. It's a wonderful goal from Mark Noble. Nightmare moment for the on-loan Barnsley goalkeeper. And that's a great finish from Noble. Nolan to McCartney. There's a musical exchange. McCartney on the move. Maynard's hanging back. McCartney's gone for it. Button palms away. Vastey is in to tap home against his old club. 4-0 West Ham. It really is all over now. And Ricardo Vastey scores.
Another side looking to bounce straight back to the Premier League, Birmingham, arrived at the Boleyn on the back of 3 straight wins and sitting 4th in the table just behind the Hammers.
Jordan Much! Oh, what a beautiful goal! Jordan Much! King is onside here. Marlon King to double it for Birmingham! And in the space of as many minutes, Birmingham strike 2 mighty blows. Tompkins there to meet it, and touched on him! Just what West Ham needed! In added time at the end of this first half, they're back in business. Davis with a really good run, very nearly got on the end of it, turned back goalwards, oh it's been missed! And Birmingham, on the stroke of half-time, restore their 2-goal cushion. Got to score soon. Carlton Cole does just that! The big man steps up when West Ham need him. 20 minutes to play. West Ham 2, Birmingham 3. Oh, gets in now. That's great by Caldwell. Fizzed home by Lansbury. Penalty! Well, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And West Ham have a big decision go their way. Vastey blasts it home. What a massive moment for West Ham.
Well, I think the roof has just come off this place. The noise, unbelievable. And what a recovery it's been.
It was a spirited comeback from the Irons, and they went into their home match with Brighton with confidence and knowledge that nothing but a win would be good enough.
Nolan has picked out Vastey. Vastey might well hit this. Plenty of power and too much power for Breslin. What a strike, Ricardo Vastey! That was like a bullet! A screamer from the Portuguese. O'Neill with so much time. In goes Vastey! It's 2-0 West Ham! Bressan beaten again! West Ham United 2 up, 7.5 minutes in, and Ricardo Vastey has got them both. Taylor's delivery. And it's the 3rd goal for Nolan! Tompkins at the back post, and Kevin Nolan gobbles up those sort of chances for fun. Bowler's back post with his arm up. That's the target. Bressan thought about coming. And that surely is a foul. No, says the referee. Vastey, goal! It doesn't matter anyway. What a goal from Ricardo Vastey. That's the hat-trick. While most of the Claret and Blue persuasion were appealing for a penalty, Vastey played on. And to what effect? Mikael Smith. Dicker kicking it away again. Nolan. Cole is onside. Lansbury wants it played in. Cole should have played it, but it's in anyway. 5-0 West Ham. The flag stays down despite desperate appeals from the Brighton players. Cole will claim it, but it took a wicked, wicked deflection. Noble with this corner. Right the way across and in. It's an own goal. Off Gary Dicker, I think. 6-0 to Big Sam's West Ham.
The club's biggest win since 1998 could not have come at a better time, as they visited a Bristol City side battling for their championship lives. The visitors were on the score sheet early when a training ground free kick was headed home by the unmarked James Tompkins. It was the academy graduate's fourth goal of the campaign, and in truth, one of the easiest he'll have scored. But just 4 minutes later, the Robins were all square again when a speculative effort from Cole Scouse bounced in front of Robert Green and into the net. What a time for the one-club man to score his first goal of the season. It was instrumental in securing City's championship status and would all but extinguish West Ham's designs on automatic promotion. The Hammers did go close, registering 12 shots at goal to City's 7, but it wouldn't prove to be enough to secure all 3 points. Sam Allardyce's men went into the final 2 games of the season knowing they had to win both and rely on Southampton slipping up. The penultimate game of the regular season was a trip to the Midlands to face the Foxes.
Gamal has got acres of space over on that right. Nugent's coming across to close. Deep cross from Gamal. Vaz-Tei. Nolan!
Well, that is really clever effort. I can't tell you how clever this is, because he knows if he tries to strike this straight, Kevin Nolan, it's going to get blocked.
Marshall's got away from his man here. He's got Beckford in the middle. It's good, it's Beckford! It's 1-0! Collison. Noble. Taylor. That's a great ball in on a plate for Winston Reid to level up for West Ham.
Well, I told you, long way to go.
Nolan. Cole. O'Neill. Drinkwater breaks it up. Vaz-Tei gets a touch back. O'Neill. Blocked by St Ledger. Collison! Fires West Ham into the lead! Just before the hour mark, a hugely significant blow for West Ham United.
Well, that is pure. No other word for it. Absolutely pure. You cannot strike a ball any better than this.
The final game of the regular season at the Boleyn saw West Ham host Hull City.
And it may be irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but West Ham take the lead. Lansbury. Looking for Cole, finding Cole, who scores again! What a beautifully taken goal for West Ham. It's 2 for Carlton Cole.
Well, some of his teammates have gone over to Henry Lansbury, and rightly so. What a ball that was.
Bryant. Corey Evans. Garcia. Demel with plenty of time to get it away, but he's made a bit of a mess of it. And Hull City have the goal.
I think we can all acknowledge West Ham just taking their foot off the gas a little bit. They're not, though.
A great victory, but it would prove to be in vain, as Southampton ran out comfortable 4-0 winners to secure the second automatic promotion place. West Ham finished third, though could boast the least defeats in the league. They would contest the playoffs with a 2-legged tie against the 6th place club and perennial championship playoff team Cardiff City. The knockout would start in South Wales at the Cardiff City Stadium.
Cardiff have started well. There's Kenny Miller! Rob Green able to turn it around. Hudson. Taylor. Vaz-Tei. Oh, he's kept it in here. Collison! Followed in and Jack Collison gets the opening goal of this tie for West Ham United.
Well, that's why he's in the team, you know. That is why he's in the team, because he gets himself into goal-scoring positions, this lad.
They found Kenny Miller.
Well, that's got the crowd going now.
With a glance on by Vaz Tê, out by Turner. Here's Jack Collison with the volley and the deflection and the goal. A second for Jack Collison, a second for West Ham, and they are slowly taking a stranglehold on this semi-final.
What a performance and what a result. West Ham returned to the Boleyn as clear favourites to progress. Just 90 minutes away from the playoff final and a trip to Wembley.
Kevin Nolan takes up his customary position in front of the goalkeeper. And it's fizzed right into the mix. And touched in by Kevin Nolan. What of an hour played. And West Ham take an icy grip on this playoff. McNaughton. West Ham hustled it back. Vaz Tê. O'Neill screaming for it, getting it! Drawing a fine save from Marshall. O'Neill. Ricardo Vaz Tê is in! And blast! A beauty for West Ham! Think we can say it now, can't we? West Ham are going to Wembley!
Oh, okay, Sarah.
Nicky Maynard. Well, that's some way to crown it. Nicky Maynard with a superb goal. It's 3 on the afternoon. It's 5 in the tie.
In the end, West Ham were by far the superior side, and their experience and quality won out. They made the short trip around the North Circular to Wembley to face Blackpool. Only the second time in playoff history that the two clubs competing in the final had the chance to return to the top flight at the first time of asking.
Absolutely over the moon. Been a long time, 31 years.
Yeah, can't wait. Been looking forward to it for a long, long time.
Big match today. Can't underestimate Blackpool either, so but we'll do it, I'm sure of that.
This week has been the longest week of my life.
Couldn't sleep last night. I've been thinking about it all night, all yesterday. As soon as them tickets arrived, I was just so excited. I just wanted the day to come.
Really confident. I think we're really going to do the business today.
Vaz Té's a bit exciting. Hopefully he'll do the business today.
Come on, you Lions!
Wembley's arch again provides the tantalising portal to the Premier League. We've seen it before. Futures, even livelihoods can rest on it. What a great prize for success, just as there can be a great price for failure. And the Empower Championship playoff final of 2012 is kicked off by West Ham. A perfect Wembley playing surface, perfect playing conditions as well. It's cool and it's dry. Everett. Seeking to get change out of Taylor. There might be an opportunity here. Green saves at his near post.
Wow, what a save that is. That was struck with an awful lot of power.
Phillips in here, great chance.
First touch, didn't get it out of his feet.
Ferguson trying to play Phillips in again, almost hit by Demel. Here's Phillips, he's got another chance. It's Phillips! So close. Taylor. Vazte. Carlton Cole. O'Neill. Vazte! Side netting.
Oh, first real threat. First real threat. One thing in his mind.
Cole is the only target to aim at. It might come to Carlton Cole! The big man delivers for West Ham on the big occasion. Blackpool 0, West Ham 1. It's Carlton Cole.
Wow, target 15, achieved 15. I said at the top he was going to be a threat to Blackpool, and you know what? The first time he's managed to get in behind Ian Evatt, he's punished him.
Intended for Ricardo Vazte, might just reach him!
That could be a big moment, and he knows it, doesn't he?
Carlton Cole puts it away. Thomas Ince has set off. Ince 1-1! 2 minutes into the second half. Thomas Ince against West Ham. Would you believe that? He was given a torrid time by the West Ham supporters when he was attacking the Endo and Housed in the first half. This is Kevin Phillips. Little clip over the top. It's Baptiste! And it's off the line. Out by Taylor. That was the centre half coming forward there for Blackpool.
Oh, that's the way they play, and he's frustrated with himself because I think he's got to score.
Taylor, here's Cole. Taylor just gets himself a yard. What a whipped-in ball that was. Collison's touch takes it over, but more concern is it could be that shoulder again here.
It lands awkwardly.
Carlton Cole, who's done it once and very nearly doing it again. Smart save from Gilks.
Well, I said before the ball was kicked that Matt Gilks in the goal may need to have a big game.
McCartney. Taylor. McCartney. Nolan! Off the crossbar! Followed in by Taylor. What a moment that would have been.
Well, that's all it takes, Blackpool. That is all it takes. One moment of real quality.
Nolan will get there first, ahead of Evatt. 4 coming in here for West Ham. Will it fall to one of them? It just might be Carlton Cole. Vazte! Ricardo Vazte might just have fired West Ham back to the Premier League.
Well, they might do. They are playing against a team that scored an abundance of goals in the last 3-4 minutes of games in Blackpool, but it would have to be the biggest of them all. Because Kevin Nolan, it is, that shows energy. Blackpool have made complaints to the referee about something that happened in the build-up to that goal. No foul, not going to miss from there. High into the goal, and how big could that be for West Ham? We will find out in less than 2 minutes, because that picture there tells you just how big it could be.
All season, promotion demanded by West Ham. On a sunny afternoon in May at Wembley, promotion to the Premier League has been delivered.
Ricardo Vazte was the late hero for the Hammers, securing Premier League football with just 3 minutes of normal time remaining. It was nothing short of what the team had deserved for a hard-fought 2011-2012 season and playoff final.
After relegation, they rebuilt. They reinvigorated and reinvested as well. And now West Ham are returning. More than a club, it says on those t-shirts. Well, this is more than just a playoff win for West Ham United. They're back amongst the elite of English football. Their first visit to the new Wembley has yielded their first win at the new Wembley. Mission accomplished.
It's a great day for West Ham, great day for the fans. I think we deserve it, and we're just happy to be back in the Premier League.
Straight up there with the very best day of my life, really, apart from the kids being born. So, no, it's tremendous. Once in a lifetime in your football career, this.
Don't get any better than this. You know, our aim was to get automatic promotion at the start of the season, but to do it this way and do it at Wembley, you know, something special. And, you know, credit to all the fans, you know, been brilliant all year. Their turnout today has been unbelievable. Credit to all the players have been unbelievable. Staff as well. You know, so many people to thank, really.
Well, it was good, great atmosphere.
The difference between the top tier and the second tier is not a lot in it, and we've had a hard season, but it's all been worth it now, and everybody's worked so hard and done the job today.
Everyone wants to be in the Premiership against the best players, the best teams, so here we come, Premier League.
It's an amazing day, it's an amazing atmosphere. It was an amazing atmosphere as well. Unbelievable. I think when you have some fans like this, run more than normal. So I think it's really good, really great, and I'm happy for them, really.
The team could now look forward and plan for a future back where they belong, amongst the elite of English football.